Absolute value is kind of an interesting concept. It is absolute value. When we deal with absolute value, there are no positives and negatives. We may find the absolute value of a negative, but the answer will always be positive. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. The absolute value of a number is the distance from 0 on a number line. The distance from 0. The reason absolute value is positive is because distance is always positive. You cannot walk a negative distance. If you go backwards, you are still walking a positive distance from your starting point. So, if I start here and I walk forwards 3 feet, I'm walking forward 3 feet. But even if I walk backwards, the distance, say I walk here 2 feet, the distance is still positive. So distance cannot be negative. Absolute value is the distance from 0. So the absolute value of 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5 units from 0. So the absolute value, and we denote absolute value by these two lines on either side of whatever the number is we're looking for. It's 5 units from 0. The absolute value of negative 3 is 1, 2, 3. It is 3 units away from 0. So absolute value is the distance from 0 on the number line. The absolute value of 0 is 0. There is no distance. It's right at that. It's right at 0. So 5 is 5 units from 0, so the absolute value is 5. Negative 3 is 3 units from 0, so the absolute value is 3. Now, it's pretty simple if you don't try to think too much about it. If you just go, okay, absolute value is going to be the positive form of whatever the number is inside those lines. So take a minute. Actually, let's do this one together. The absolute value of 2 is 2, because 2 is 1, 2 away from 0. The absolute value of negative 4 is 4, because it is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from 0. Go ahead and pause the video and write the absolute values for the rest of those. And when you're done, unpause it and check your work. 25 should be 25. Negative 102 is positive 102. The absolute value is positive 102. The absolute value of 1/2 is 1/2. The absolute value of negative 3/4 is 3/4. The absolute value of 25/100 is 25/100. It is that far from 0. The absolute value of negative 33/100 is 33/100 away from 0. So as long as you don't think about, try to overthink it, absolute value is not terribly difficult. As long as you recognize that's what those bars mean. Those bars mean absolute value, and when you see them, you are using the positive form of whatever number is inside those bars. And that's all I got.